Dollar Shave Club bought for $1 billion. Facebook Messenger hits 1 billion users. We chat with early Niantic investors Cyan Bannister and more. It's Wednesday, July 20th, and this is Crunch Report. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Crunch Report. Pokemon Go is still crazy insanely popular. I think Abraham Lincoln said it best when he said, "Show me someone who isn't playing Pokemon Go, and I'll show you a liar." That's history. We are crazy insanely lucky enough to sit down with Cyan Bannister, a partner at Founders Fund and an early investor in Pokemon Go creators Niantic. Let's find out more. Hi, Cyan. Welcome to the show.
Hey. How are you?
I'm good. So, you were an early investor in Uber, Postmates, SpaceX, all these companies that are huge now. Are you some kind of oracle?
I don't think so. I'm just good at meeting people.
But if you were an oracle, you would tell me, though.
Yeah, I most definitely would tell you.
So tell me, in regards to Niantic, when did you first get involved with them? What series?
So, Series A, Niantic's inception story is a little different than most startups. As you know, it was part of Google.
Yeah.
It was a startup within Google. And so very few people probably got any sort of ability to invest because of the story. Basically, when Alphabet spin-out happened, somebody sent me a link and I said, this is the time. If there was ever a time to get into this company, this is it. This is all I've got. But I had no way in. I was like, I don't know the team. I don't know hardly anyone at Google. That's not like my universe. So it's a funny story because I invested in a company called Hint Water. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they make this like flavored sugarless water.
Oh, yes.
Well, they had Ingress codes in the cap, and you could use those codes for like special abilities within Ingress. So I messaged the CEO of Hint Water, and I said, who did you do the biz dev deal with over at Niantic? Can you put me in touch? And she's like, John Hanke. And John Hanke is the CEO of Niantic. And so I emailed him, begging him to invest in the company. And of course, he had more than enough money from Nintendo and from, Google, et cetera. And he's like, well, why don't you just come and hang out for a couple of days? And I'd love to meet you. And I always love meeting Ingress fans. And so we went and hung out with him, my best friend and I, Lucas Nealon, who's also an early investor. And we hung out with him for several hours. He made the time. And then at the end of that, he was like, okay, well, you guys can invest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, John Hanke is an amazing CEO. He's a wonderful person. And what's really fun is my best friend is now working for him, the person who went with me. So he's now there full time. That's great.
How much time have you spent playing Pokemon?
I'm level 21.
Ooh.
I don't know if that tells you anything.
I don't know either.
A lot of time. Everywhere I go, I put out lures and I try to, get Pokemon to catch. And I'm really into, I don't know, I never followed the franchise. I'm a little outside of the age range of people who would have played Pokemon. But I have siblings who did. And so it's been really fun for me to actually learn about these characters for the first time. So I'm learning about what the characters are, what their powers are, what they evolve into, et cetera. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So AR is a huge part of Pokemon Go. Are you currently invested in or looking at any other use cases of AR?
I am. I'm actually looking for wearable applications. So Google Glass came out with Glass and it was a little bit premature, I think. The market wasn't ready for it. And I think we've made progress in that area where at some point people will actually wear glasses and be able to see things like Pokemon appear in reality in front of them. Also just other applications kind of like Niantic. I mean, any sort of platform where, for example, Malik wrote that he went to the museum and he basically Pokemon taught him that he should be able to put up his phone and find out information about the art he was looking at.
Yeah.
So it's going to create expectations that people want to experience the world like that. And so I'm definitely looking for any startups that are working on this.
Awesome. Last question. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Who
is your favorite Pokemon?
I'm kind of partial to Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
I like Jigglypuff.
All right, thank you for your time. You're the best. That was fun. Look out for a more in-depth interview with Cyan and Megan Rose Dickey coming out later this month. Announced late yesterday, Unilever, the $130 billion multinational consumer goods company, is speculated to be paying $1 billion all cash for Dollar Shave Club. If the pricing that's being reported of $1 billion is true, the transaction will be the third largest ever in e-commerce, only beaten by Zulily and Wayfair. Dollar Shave Club's 3.2 million members will be a valuable addition to Unilever and increase the company's exposure to a growing demographic. Unilever will also benefit from Dollar Shave Club's valuable customer data and existing customer base. Unilever plans to keep Dollar Shave Club CEO Michael Dubin on through the transition and does not have plans to make any executive changes into the future. It's not every day that you hit the billion user club. Facebook Messenger joins Facebook, its acquisition WhatsApp, and Google's YouTube in that milestone. A billion is quite impressive. Josh Constantine wrote a whole in-depth post about how it got to this point in our lives. It's a fun read. And 1 billion users! Seriously, that's Brobdingnagian. Check it out. Yesterday, us and other publications were like, guess what? Pokemon Go is launching in Japan tomorrow. People got excited. Well, we're sorry to let you know that an initial morning launch time was pushed back to early afternoon as the email went viral. Later, however, the companies decided to cancel today's launch entirely due to concerns that the hype generated would overload the game. Our source explained, "We don't have an immediate update on when the game will finally go live in Japan, but understand that the launch is imminent," but unspecified, but imminent. Imminent. Keyboard app maker SwiftKey, which was acquired by Microsoft for $250 million in February, has officially launched its first product since that acquisition. And it's an emoji predicting keyboard app called Swiftmoji. Swiftmoji offers emoji suggestions based on what the user has just typed, with the idea being to speed up the hunt for the perfect visual punctuation to your text. So less swiping through ever-expanding screens of smileys, objects, and symbols looking for that ever-elusive French flag, for instance. Or whatever you're looking for. I constantly get lost in that thing. That's the report for today. I'm Tito Hamzy. Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TechCrunch.com. You can also find us on iTunes and on YouTube. See you tomorrow!